Hello.
Hello.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Welcome to Dive in Wonders,
Ça va?
Samantha.
Thank you.
I am so fucking happy to have Sammy here. You know that more than anyone.
I am so honored to be here. It's been a journey.
It's been a journey, and we've been diving in wonder together
We
for
have.
a very long time. So
Through
this is-
many different lives.
I know, but this is the first time on camera. So, quick intro. Another one of my favorite human beings alive, which you know. I can say a lot of things about you, but before I kind of like start throwing you flowers and obsessing about you, how would you introduce Sammy to someone?
Ooh, okay. Hello. I am Sammy. I am deeply interested in storytelling, in film and television, but also theatre and writing. And I was born in the UK, and through world's kind of twists, I've ended up in Sydney, now working as an actor.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been in Sydney for?
I have been here five years, start of COVID.
5 years. I'm gonna try to give you context because I know a lot of things, but I know I'm gonna start speaking without context if
that's
I
true.
don't.
That's
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So 5 years, we met each other in the middle of COVID through an acting class,
Les.
through our acting agent at
Yes.
the time, through Les,
Shout out Joseph.
and shout out Les. And then we were within each other's 5 kilometers ratio,
Yes.
so we could do the coastal walk. So
go to the beach.
You mean radius
radios. What did I say? Radio?
ratio.
Ratio.
Oh,
Ratio of the
It is
planet.
different. It is different. Thank you so much, Wes.
They're different words. So.
Yeah. Wow, the heat. English second language. Okay, sorry. So we were within each other radius.
Yes.
And so thank you, COVID. Okay. I want to come back to, so you're introducing yourself as someone who's interested in storytelling. How would we have known that if I'm looking at 5-year-old Sammy? What about 5-year-old Sammy? How could I have known?
I think the most obvious way was my dad filmed my entire childhood on a camcorder. Everything.
No.
Yeah, like, it's funny because I think I'm of that generation that can go through photos and see, like,
That's
everything.
amazing.
And it's cute because it's all that little camcorder sort of set up. And he filmed everything. And so,
Give me examples of everything.
okay, so I was obsessed with performing. Only child, so
Yeah.
only child.
Only child.
Everybody in this room is an only child. Yeah. So
You can sit with us if you have
I-
siblings.
I was just obsessed with performing. Anytime it was out, if I watch the videos now, it's like this 5-year-old little poser. It's like,
But did they promote? Like, were they like prompting behind? Because I was watching little videos not long
Yeah.
ago about, and I didn't realize that my dad was prompting.
oh,
He was giving
really?
instructions from behind the camera.
So interestingly, my dad was usually, because they were building the house when I was first born, so they were kind of filming more of the house being built. It's just
Okay.
I would shove myself like in front of the camera.
Okay. Okay. So the
So-
protagonist. Okay.
So it was a lot of the time like
So it was coming from you.
dress-ups, yeah, like dressing up. I would do little dances. I would read. There's videos of me just trying to read sections of a
This
book.
will be in the edit. Yeah.
No one wanted to hear. Like everybody's just trying to go about
Stop!
their
You were
day.
reading a
And I would
book.
sit and I would read a chapter of the book.
Stop. Which book?
Was it Northern Lights? Northern Lights?
Ooh.
I would always be reading that.
Oh,
Who wrote that?
Always.
interesting.
Who is it?
Not easy to.
No, but this is the thing as well. I think it was like an image thing. I probably had no idea what was
Yeah.
going on. I just knew that like
They were just like, that's not what it is.
that's not what's happening.
But you said it with conviction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another. Yeah. You've always just got to confidently say things and then deal with the aftermath.
Like I'd said ratio if someone wouldn't have corrected me. Yeah.
So I think camcorder was a really big thing that I just always wanted to perform. I think also music. Music was a big one.
So Sammy is an amazing musician, which you didn't mention, but I guess that goes with storytelling.
Thanks.
And I think that sensibility, I guess it will translate in different parts of your creative life and of the way you see the world. Your connection to music has been so interesting for me to watch, because also not only because of our personal things, but the fact that you approach, we're going to go into that later, but the fact that you approach character building, that you approach so much ways of connecting to your humanity through music has always fascinated me so much.
I think it was interesting because I remember you and I were talking about it the other day, and we were discussing, I was so envious of your ability to converse in several languages. And I remember saying that I love that you could just see a poem in a different language and you would be able to fully understand that. And I think different languages bring out different personalities in people. And you said something really interesting was, you said, yeah, but you have that with music. And I think I'd never thought about it like that.
You had that with the piano so much. I remember the first time I watched you playing music was right after we met. You posted a video doing like, you're dressed in white. I have this image so clear. I think I must have watched this video way too many times. And you were doing the looping session.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
I showed that video to the person I was like watching that.
Aww.
You know, like, I mean, you know, with music, but you know, when like you just need to keep on listening to something because like it resonates with something weird. But I also like, you were also not, there was not lyrics as much as well, which I don't really, in general, listen to music much without lyrics. I don't connect that much.
Yeah.
With some I have, but there's something when I was a kid that I was like, this is a bit anticlimactic for me. Like I love words, I need words. So it was really interesting for me that I was so interested in sounds.
Looping was just...
Yeah, it was just sounds, that wide one, yeah.
It makes, you know what, us talking about it makes me want to get back into it more. Like I still haven't unboxed the piano in our new place, which is really bad.
It will come out. But how was that first approach to music? Who in your family was in that world?
So I think my mum was the music person, and I'd say my dad was theatre and film. So my mum so I grew up in a little village in England, like...
What's the name?
Burton upon Trent.
Say it again.
Shout out upon Trent.
Trent. Wow.
Burton. Yeah, upon Trent, the river. It is known for, it's a brewery town. If you ever need a great beer, head to Burton. Other than that, not that much going on.
You must be their image at the beginning of the town. Like the tree billboards.
When you go back home.
Samantha.
Burton on Trent.
Okay.
Not much going on. Really, my stage was just the music room. So we always had a music room growing up, which was interesting.
Because your mum was playing?
So my mum loved the piano, and she started it later in life. So it wasn't anything like expert or career. She just loved it, and she loved singing, and she was always part of choirs. So from a young age, she got me into music, and we'd always have a room in the house that had a record player, a sofa, piano, guitars. And it would be like, yeah, so that was always a thing. So music room was, no matter like how the house was arranged, there was always one space for music.
That is absolutely beautiful.
Which I've never actually thought, like, it's such a privilege that we had that, but I just never thought about that being something. It was kind of just, the music room.
But it's not even just something about what they did, I think it's something that as a kid you would understand that there is... The reverence you would give to something to make a room out of it in a house. The fact that you tell a kid this type of expression is so important for humans.
Yeah.
That this lives within the house. Like it's your sibling or someone inhabiting the house.
Oh, that's so sweet.
No, but it is insane because as a kid you're just perceiving like there's the room for eating, and there's the
Yeah,
room for the
completely.
toilet, and there's the room for things.
Yeah.
So like having a room, I think it must have installed a priority that that's a part of life.
Yeah, like you knew that had to be, it had to be like part of life, that was there. And I think having a record player, and the room was always filled with records. So that access to music was great, because in the village, it's not like,
In the village.
it was in the village. In the village, there was not any live music going on. Occasionally you might get like the old lady humming down the road, but other than that, so I had that. Mum was very much like, you're gonna do instruments, like.
Since what age?
I think I started piano at 5.
Okay.
5.
Wow.
I want to say 5.
Do you have videos?
And then I argued that she should have started me earlier.
Yeah.
It's like, how dare you only start that at 5? Because we had that
You should have
room.
birthed me into a piano.
Jesus, mother. She had the room. She always played, but I didn't really start until I was 5. And then she wanted me to start more instruments. I think being an only child, it was like the way of socializing was to get into like the orchestra and be around other people. So she gave me the option of choosing any instrument.
At 5.
No, I think this was, so I started piano at 5, maybe at like 6, 7.
Yeah.
And I was like, the harp.
The harp.
The only solitary instrument I could have chosen. She was like, you're going to make friends. Choose an instrument.
What is a hub?
A harp? So it's like...
The harp.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
You just said it partially.
So you only have one in the orchestra.
Yeah,
So
you're
it's
in
like
the
the
corner.
loner. It is the loner.
Yeah.
In the end, she was like, "It's gonna be good
It
for
is
you."
a beautiful fucking instrument,
but also
though.
so lonely. And she was like, "You're gonna make friends," and I was like, "The harp. The harp is the one.
Yeah.
I've got to do it." So,
So at 7, you had already, because of the music you were consuming, you understood what that sound.
yeah. So I loved
like,
watching
wow.
orchestras, and I always was like, "Ooh, what's that
Live?
loner in the corner?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "That's so me. I want to be that."
Yeah.
The lone wolf. I was like, so
That
harp,
is insane to me.
which was good. I really enjoyed it. It was great at an older age because it was like you could play at weddings occasionally, and it was like easy little money. But guitar,
Okay, the image of you, the image of Sammy in a corner of a wedding.
Yeah, I just got this image of 9-year-old Sammy playing.
I know.
with a harp.
They were just like, make us some cash.
bring in the money to the village.
Wow. Like, I'm not really crazy about marriage,
Yeah,
but I would do it just to get you
just to get
play.
me there.
Yeah.
It'd be bad now. It's been a long time.
Okay.
It'd be something.
It would be something.
Although I saw someone on Instagram the other day playing like the lyre, like a smaller version. I was like, oh, I could get back into that.
So were you the like crazy girl carrying that?
Oh, it's a lot. Yeah. So
Wow.
they have wheels.
Yeah.
And you put it on a little bit. It looks a little bit like a rucksack.
Yeah.
And then you kind of just have to like do like a hunchback thing.
Yeah.
And then usually someone helps from behind. Yeah. It's not the sexiest thing to carry around.
You made it work.
Yeah, like you know the girls who had like the guitar across them, like it's kind of hot. Meanwhile, Hunchback was walking around with a harp. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was around for a little bit, and then when I gave that up, my poor mum must have been like, "Dude,
Yeah.
it's huge."
Yeah.
So we did that. Mum was super supportive in that area, especially choirs. So I was always from like age dot, always part of choirs.
Not really just choirs, just choirs around the town.
So choirs around the village.
You need to paint an image, you know, Colombia and then rural England. Very
so she
different
signed me
worlds.
up to the Great British Choir, and we did tours, which was great because they did like bits and bobs.
Oh, like a
abroad,
choir,
like
choir.
choir.
No,
like
not like you in the town hall.
no, she went.
Okay,
We went
wow.
choir, but yeah. So I'm an atheist, but love church music.
Yeah.
Love religious
There's-
music.
Yeah.
So my holidays were spent being part of a choir, and then
Yeah.
like do troops, and we'd like travel. So
That's since 8.
that was a big So like I joined them at 11. So it
Okay.
went piano,
Harp.
singing with choirs, and travel, which was great because it meant I got to see different areas of the country
Yeah.
with the choir. So that was a really nice way of doing it. And then my dad was the film TV side.
So I'm gonna come into that because I want us to talk about travel later. But
Yeah.
how was your relationship to being alone traveling? I mean, you were with a choir, but
Yeah.
in terms of independence as an only child.
So I definitely really struggled with homesickness getting dropped off. Like I
Yeah.
always remember the worst feeling being dropped off at those things and seeing my
Okay.
parents leave. I would struggle for a little bit.
Like, how long would the maximum trip be?
Probably like 3 weeks, those ones. Yeah.
That is
two or
crazy to
3
me at
weeks.
that age.
Yeah.
Because I was like holding my mom like this.
Well, I started boarding school at 13. Yeah.
Okay. So this probably prepared you as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, nothing quite prepares you for it.
Yeah.
Luckily, my school was only 20 minutes away from home, so I'd
Yeah.
still end up seeing them weekly. It was just the school had like a scholarship system where if you wanted to get it, you had to board, so you had to stay. And there wasn't really such a thing like weekly boarding or anything like that, so you would stay for the full time. But you
Yeah.
can go home on weekends, and on holidays you go home, and they were 20 minutes away, so they'd turn up for everything.
And that was 13 to 18?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must create like such a very different mindset of like fending for yourself, no?
It does and it doesn't. It does in that, yes, you're away from your family, but I think being an only child, it was interesting because I was thrown into almost a lot of siblings at once. Because it almost feels like one big sleepover.
Do you have like a room? Do you share a room?
Yeah, so you're in dorms.
You're in dorms
You're
with a
in
lot
dorms?
of girls?
Yeah. So when you first start in like probably would have been I think they call it year 9. It's different
Yeah.
in Australia, isn't it? And Colombia.
It's different because we don't
was.
go backwards.
Yeah, okay. So at 13 you're in a room with like 6 girls.
Okay.
And then each year you go up, it kind of gets less and less until you finally get your own room in like final year.
Okay.
So it's like one big sleepover at the start. So it's fun.
My
Like,
reaction's crazy because my reaction to that is proper, like me at that age with the 6 girls.
Oh, it gets bad. Oh, it gets bad. No,
Yeah,
but
'cause-
it
yeah.
starts off fun. Then you all go through puberty.
Yeah, yes.
And then it gets pretty intense. Around 17, 18.
You're
it can
still
get-
not in your own room at that age.
You're 17, you're usually in a room of 2. So it's not like it's just
Do you
you
get
and
to
one other
choose?
person. Yeah, so you kind of get to like try and figure it out. And
Okay.
you wrote a little vote system. So no one was ever like that
Yeah.
one person who got left out. But
The one with the teacher?
yes, the one who's-
I was never the one with the teacher in trips or lunches.
But it's like there were so many opportunities there, and that I knew I wouldn't have got if I stuck with the school I was in.
Yeah.
That I was so grateful.
Yeah.
But then it also comes with like the guilt of I've got to prove that like
That I deserve to
that
be
I
here.
deserve to be here. You know that, and so I think by the time you get to 17, 18, also you're ready to leave.
What's the percentage of you, like of people there being on scholarships?
So there was like 2 people in the year who could get like the all-rounder kind of scholarship, which was like the highest sort of amount you could
Yeah.
get off. And for that, you had to stay for 2 days, and you did 2 days of testing. So you did like an academic test, and then they did like a bleep. Did you ever have to do bleep tests?
Yeah, the run.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
bleep tests.
What is a bleep test?
Dude. Okay, so it's
We call it a shuttle run here.
shuttle run. Oh, everything's so much more fun here. Yeah, bleep test. So it's played on a speaker. So you start at one end of a hall and you have to run to the other side. So
Okay.
it's like wall to wall, but you have to make it before the bleep. And the bleep gets faster and faster and you get knocked out. So it's like survival of the fittest. And
Wow.
and you get knocked out if you don't make it. And then eventually you just get down to who's left. So it's like fight for your place.
Were you good in sports?
Yeah, it was a hockey school. So a lot of people went there for sport.
Okay.
So running, like anything.
mattered.
So sport mattered. It was like a sports school.
That's crazy because I didn't do the bleep, but I did do all these competitions
Oh, okay.
out of my own will
Oh.
and was really bad at them, which I don't know, but I don't understand.
Yeah, but you love a challenge, don't you?
Yeah,
You're
even
right.
though it was like public humiliation, it was just like, why my
Why?
PE teacher? It's like, why the fuck do you want to do this?
Why?
Because we had the Olympics. I don't know. I did have this like thought that I could think my way into running really fast.
Ah,
Like I was like, surely last year I could.
that's quite impressive manifestation at a
I
young
think it was
age.
from Matilda. I truly think it came from Matilda. And I was like, it has to be possible. And I kept improving it.
do
It
it.
wasn't.
Yeah, but that works though, because if your mind's tricking you into
Yeah,
continually
but then I would
doing
have
it-
to continue training the whole year. Signing up into the competition.
What distance did you do?
I don't remember. It was so bad. It was so bad because I would just sign up in the moment of the people that were really fucking good. And then just compete again.
Oh, but think of how much confidence you gave people who would have come last.
You know when
Who would have come
meme
last?
about the Olympics where it's like we should put a normal person in there? That's her! That's literally you!
I was doing that. It was my mission.
Think about how many people
It was
you
my mission.
inspired by doing that. Like,
I think
imagine
I
the
did.
person that would have come last, but they didn't.
No, but
you
truly,
signed up.
I truly made people feel better because they were like, Natalia's there.
I would have loved
Like,
you.
I'm not gonna. I think the only thing that I actually got good at by doing that, because
Yeah.
I didn't do that with one sport.
What was it?
I didn't do that with one sport. I did that with pretty much
You're
everything.
sporty.
No, I wasn't. I'm sporty now. I'm better than the girls that were good at those competitions right now. Let me just say that. I've looked at them up on Facebook
Tag
and I'm
them.
over it.
What's her name? Yeah, Beatrice.
I have her whole fucking name and last name in my head, which is so fucked.
Wait.
I'm not
There's no
gonna. I
Colombian
cannot
people
say
called-
it.
There's no Colombians called Beatrice.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it. There might be one Natalia
Beatrice and-
with an H,
Nathalia.
which like, what do you mean? You know? Anyways, I'm so over it. But
It's not left a mark.
the only thing I was good at some point was, you know, when you do the jumps with the little like stick.
High jump. Oh,
The
no,
hi-
you did
high
vault.
jump?
Did you do pole vault?
No.
I
High
can
jump.
so imagine her pole vaulting.
High jump.
I haven't trained all year. I'm just gonna pole vault.
I wanted to pole vault.
No, I wanted to do that, but I didn't. Thankfully, because that would have been.
Why do I just imagine you?
Yeah, I would have been there too.
That would have been
High
death.
jump. You were a high jumper.
For some reason that worked, because I think in Colombia, actually I chat GPT'd the average height in Colombia, because I was telling a friend that I was
Yeah.
really
let me
fucking
guess.
high. I was really tall.
Were you tall?
I was the tallest. I arrived to Paris thinking I'm a giant,
What's the average?
and then got
Five?
5'1"
No.
for men, I think.
For
Yeah.
men?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's why I moved to Europe.
I should go there. Yeah.
No wonder you emigrated,
Yeah.
girl.
No, but I arrived to Paris
Why
thinking I'm a
5'1"?
tall. What? 5'1" either for men or for women, and then 5'4" for the other one. I'm not sure.
Surely the men is this one.
yes, but I'm not sure if it's 5'4" or 4 something for women.
4. So you were a giant.
No, but I was a
When you
giant.
were growing up, was everybody like, they must have got crick necks?
Yeah, I was the one that people got the joke for, like, how's the weather up there?
Oh, you were green giant.
Yes, I literally lived a fantasy because I thought I'm tall
I would
in
have
this
loved
world.
That. Whereas meanwhile, me, I was like,
Yeah, because you're in fucking England.
we're the same height ish.
I'm 5'8". Yeah, so I arrived to Paris and I was like, I am so tall. And then I got humbled so fucking fast.
But what about modeling in Paris?
I was
'Cause
the
they are
smallest one in the agency.
brutal.
I was the smallest one in the agency. Yeah, they let me know every single time.
Oh yeah, they love.
They
to
let
tell
me
you.
know. They love to tell me. They were like, they literally love to tell me.
Oh yeah.
Like, it was a compliment. Like, you know, you're the shortest girl in the agency.
Oh, they said it like that. I
Yeah.
just got it brutally. I remember being at my my first fashion week casting in Paris.
Yeah.
And they were like, "You're too short."
Oh, they let you do castings for walks?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Because in Paris, like,
But I would walk everywhere in like heels yay big. And then I'd be like, but I shoot tall.
but that this is a walk.
They'll never know.
Anyways, it's good to travel. We're gonna go into immigration, but it humbles you.
Ooh. Yeah, okay. Okay.
It will humble you. Height. Anyways, my torso's tiny, my legs are long. It's an issue to dress, but great for that. Because I can just do this. So it was the only thing I was good at. In the jumps, you know, it goes like
I
that.
know, I was just imagining.
Okay,
I see
cool.
it. I see
I'm not. It's not what you're thinking. You're going into another
Not the whole
direction.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. So you were good at sports.
Sports?
Surprisingly for Sammy to be good at something. To
Not
be
tennis.
honest.
Not tennis.
Yeah, one thing.
No. They asked me to stop. It was that bad.
Okay.
Go do track. So that's why I ended up doing track. And yeah, so I think we're on the scholarship track, weren't we? Mm-hmm. So I think what point did we get to? Oh, so 2 people in the year got like the all-rounder one, and then you could separately apply for things. So you could like go for academic, you could go for sport, you could go for drama. So you could.
So when did drama start?
So my mum was the music side of things, and my dad was the theatre and film side. So dad obviously was sort of the camcorder thing, and I think he must have realised by the fact he was probably trying to film his house, and I'd shove my face in it, that he was like, all right, we've got something on our hands.
Yeah.
He would take me to, the closest theatre was in Stratford upon Avon, and it was the Royal Shakespeare Company.
Yeah.
Which I love. And he started taking me there when I was probably about 10.
To watch them?
To watch the Shakespeare Company. It was like the thing that we bonded over, and he was so shocked. I remember the first time he took me, and I remember him saying to Mum, like, she didn't fidget once.
Do you remember the first play?
Yes, King Lear.
Okay.
It was like, didn't fidget once. I was just upset. I was so in awe. I was just so, like, mind blown about this world. I'm not even sure I understood it. It was just this completely different world in front of me.
Yeah.
And I just kept asking to go back. So we would go as often as we could. And my birthdays, we'd always go to London to see theatre. So theatre was a him and me thing.
Yeah.
And I remember going and seeing, like, David Tennant doing Hamlet. That probably got me into it the most, because David Tennant was Doctor Who at the time. But
yeah, because you were in freaking England. I've only watched this from far in the replays.
I remember when he spat on me, and I was like, I'm not going to wash for so long.
Did he spat?
Apart from a lot of those thespians do it barefoot, right? And if you're on the front row,
do they?
David Tennant has really bad feet.
Wow. Okay, so now that's part of the okay. But we love his acting.
Yeah,
that's a clip. Okay.
David Tennant has really bad feet,
but a
everything
lot
else
of talent.
Lot of talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd get over the.
Who needs good feet? Yeah, you get over the ick. We're gonna speak about ick soon.
Yeah, that's the next thing.
Okay.
So it was like a ritual. We'd go to Carluccio's. We'd get the same pasta bowl. It was like an Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
Get the same thing.
With Dad. Yeah. Just the 2 of you.
Always just him and I. I don't think Mum could sit through, because I made him. We watched all of the historical plays. So they're all of the, like, Henry V, Part 1, 2, Henry VI. It takes 2 days to get through them. So we, like, booked an Airbnb there. And we'd just go power through.
Your dad took you to book an Airbnb and watch all the freaking...
Yeah, it was completely our thing. And I remember going,
that is
sitting
so fucking beautiful. Sammy.
He'd always get the program, and I'd straight away, every time, skip to the back to see the actors. And I'd, like, highlight where they all went to drama school. And I'd be like, okay, this one went here, this one went here. So...
Since what age is that?
I want to say... probably a couple of years into going. So I must have been around 12.
Because I have a question for you. Because I know that's your approach now. And then I think the approach of people that like something or admire something and then go backwards to how did this person get here.
Yeah.
I think that's something that's taught, because I've met a lot of adults that don't really think that way. It's kind of the approach of like, oh, you just got there, you're born with it, like you got family in there, like it's...
Yeah.
from my experience speaking about it, I feel like it's a taught approach of like, or even someone in your family going like, oh, you like this musician, where did they study? Just like going to the beginning of things you like. Who taught you that?
I think I've always been probably too obsessively studious in how things are done. And my parents swear it wasn't from them, because I have asked them about it.
So did you always understand, were you always conscious of the concept of a process and you being able to get better at something? Like, did you never have the approach of people are good at math or bad math?
No, I think
for
from
music.
because I had to, there was a set period of time a day that I had to practice. And I
For
knew if I
music.
did it, I'd get better. And if I didn't, I'd get worse. So I suppose there was a very
Whoa.
physical approach with that.
You just proved it to yourself.
Yeah.
Because I think that's something that a lot of people struggle with. And then I kind of did up until I discovered it early-ish, but still I think the fact that a lot of people lean towards what they're naturally good at, it can be problematic in the sense of not understanding the process part of things, because then shying away from things you like but you don't feel like, oh, the first time I need to be great. And people that I feel like my friends who have that mindset did sports or something, where they, since they were kids, they understood
They knew it.
what percentage comes from process.
Well, I think it was also running as well, because my dad was always into, like, the way we bonded emotionally was through sport and plays. So, like, with running, we'd always do, like, long distance running, and there'd be a training program. So he'd make a training program. So
For
I
you?
knew, so I knew that to get longer distance,
Yeah.
I had to, like, work up to it. I couldn't just go out and, like, do the 25K. It would have to work up. So I think music and that made it sort of, in my mind, I knew I had to work for it. Also, academically, I managed to get where I needed to, and I got the praise and the grades for it, but because I worked. I wasn't, like, naturally smart.
Yeah.
I was book smart, and I knew how to learn something.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the people at my level in my class were naturally smart, and they didn't have to do anything.
Which I think, which we spoke about that a bit with Juan Miguel, which I think is great.
Yeah.
It's great then, and you're jealous of them. But I think there's something that now I've spoken to adults that told me I'm having to work a lot on this, because as a kid I was good at
Didn't have
stuff
to.
naturally.
Yeah.
And then I didn't develop that. So everything that I was not great at straight away, I was like, this is not mine. And then now they're like, now I have to really understand that process as an adult of you get good at.
And I think because I've wrapped my whole identity around being busy and, like, all-rounder was a classic title that I think I associated with my
All-rounder.
identity. That meant that I wasn't, like, excelling at one thing. I was trying to be
Everything.
try and be good at everything, which meant doing a lot of work.
Yeah.
So I think that was a classic process of, I love what's on stage. I want to be part of that world. Okay, what do I have to do to get there?
Yeah. Okay. So you were looking into the drama schools.
Yes.
So was that something that at that age you were kind of like, I still get to have time to choose, or were you already like, this is what I'm going to do? I just need to find a way to do it and keep on doing it.
I knew it's what I wanted to do. It wasn't a how, it was a when.
Yeah.
Because my parents were very adamant that it's sort of 1 in a million, but they didn't want to... They encouraged me, but also were safe.
Realistically.
And, like, it's 1 in a million.
Yeah.
Let's get a degree first. So, for some reason, my rational approach to this was, okay, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to really do it. So I'll go get a degree at, like, the best university I can, and then that's a name in itself, and then they have acting there, and then from there I'll go to RADA. That was the plan. I had to, like, always plan. I've now reached the age where I'm like,
Yeah.
no more plans.
No
more plans.
Yeah.
But everything was so planned out, and it didn't go to plan. I very badly hit a wall. The whole thing was do classics at Cambridge, join the acting group there, go to RADA, probably, God, by the time that would have finished, I would have been my age now.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's a crazy
That was
thought.
the plan. That was exactly, and there was no alternative. Like, I've always been very, which I'm glad about, but I've always been pretty naive in when I want to do something, it's gonna, like, it will somehow happen.
And it's amazing.
Which is great. And I think we all in this industry have to have a little bit of that. Otherwise,
Yeah,
if
you
we
cannot
actually
do this
realize,
without delusion.
Oh, if we actually realize how difficult it was, we'd all be like, oh,
Yeah.
no. And so my whole life then, that used to be like music, drama, sport, I then just cut down just to academia.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, I've got to get into Cambridge. That's the route to get to acting. That's how it's
Yeah.
going to do. And then did everything, did the interviews, did all like the music scholarship for it. It was all going really well. And then I just opened the letter at 18 and I was rejected.
Yeah.
And it came from...
Were you expecting to get in? Like, was that a full-on blown
I knew
surprise?
it was hard. I'd killed myself for the exams over the last few
Yeah.
years because you needed like a... They call it UMS. It's like a percentage. You needed a set percentage just to get an interview.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. I think my delusion just kept running. I was like,
Yeah?
well, there's no other option. Everybody's told me that that's the way. And I think
Yeah.
it was assumed that I was going to do it as well.
Yeah.
Because I'd ended up being in a position in school where it was like every person who was in my position had got in.
Yeah.
There was like no heads of school didn't get in. So it was like, of course she's going to get in. And I didn't. And I remember it so clearly. Like I remember where I was. I remember the envelope.
Where were you?
I was in the foyer of like, it's like the boarding house and everybody's about to go into lunch.
Yeah.
And we all have like a little cubby hole with our names on it where you get letters.
Yeah.
And I remember opening it there and other people were opening it as well. And you also got an email. So other people were opening it and you could see other people's like success around you.
Getting in?
And I was like, and I remember opening it and I was like, scan. And it had the typical like, thank you very much for your application. We are so sorry we cannot offer you a place, but feel free to like apply again next year.
Yeah.
And I remember just running up to the bathrooms upstairs, sitting in the shower and shutting it. And at that time I was meant to, they have this weird thing where you're meant to like lead lunches. So I was, yeah.
What do you mean?
So many things. British boarding schools have so many
That's
traditions.
wild, yeah.
So they were waiting on me. So someone came up and obviously I was just like a mess. And I remember going and I was like, I've just got to suck it up and go into lunch. And in lunch, I remember someone saying, like, they didn't realize I was in the room. They thought I'd gone home. So someone stood up and said, we want to congratulate A, B, C, and D for all getting in. And I remember sitting there and one of the teachers turned to me and was just like, keep your chin up. Don't let them see it. Keep your chin up. And yeah, it was the best thing that never happened.
I fucking love
Yeah.
that so much.
Because it was the first time that I went, okay, we got to go off script now. This plan hasn't worked.
Yeah.
It hasn't gone the way you wanted it to. Lift your head out the book for a second. Because I'd spent the last 2 years just like so, and I wouldn't change it. I honestly
Yeah.
wouldn't change anything that happened. But I was just so inside the pages and assuming that's where all the answers were that I just wasn't looking up. And so my creativity was also just coming from books. And as soon as I lifted my head up and I actually went to a different uni that allowed me to start the other things back up again, I was able to actually see the world outside a textbook. And
Which you need so much as an artist.
so much. I don't think I would have ended up over here. I don't think I would have, and because I came over here when COVID hit, and that was my plan to go back to drama school at that point. Because I'd finished my degree, came over here, realized...
Why Australia?
Yeah, we had this discussion the other day, didn't we? Because it was meant to be either LA or here. And I chose here.
LA or here modeling wise?
So yeah, I was doing like the circuit.
When did you start modeling?
16. This was another thing that I was just totally naive about. I was like, okay, we're going to do acting. I realized that actors have jobs in between because it's not always 24/7. I need a job in between. And I was like, I could work at the bar, I could work at the pub. And I was like, no, I am going to model.
So easy. Yeah, so easy. Yeah, same. It's a great side
I
job.
will model. That will be my side job.
Yeah.
I remember Mum being like, I think it'll be good if, like a little holiday job, learn money. And I was like, yeah, sure.
I think you're right. I think I'm
Sure.
gonna be a model.
I think you're right.
And a director on my time.
I'm gonna go to Fashion Week. So she went, okay, right.
So that was from you.
That was from me. And I researched agencies, and I came down and I was like, there's these 3 agencies. They're local. And you have to be so careful because there's so many young kids who are tricked with their parents, where they go to a studio and they're like, pay £600 and we'll give you a portfolio to get you. You do not need a portfolio to get an agent, guys. And they trick you into it. You just go, they just want headshots, go and meet them. So I did some research. I found these 3 agencies. I made my mum take me to one in Manchester. And she was in the meeting with me.
Yeah.
And then, I just signed.
At 16.
Yes, 16. Signed up from there.
Was there no reluctance to modeling from your family?
A little bit. I think they just wanted to check. Because I think my first shoot was for a poster for a club. That wasn't even
Epic.
legal to drink.
Yeah.
So they were like...
And this will be added in the edit.
Yeah. So they just wanted to check that it was safe.
But they were fine with it as a job.
I don't think they understood it.
Okay.
Which made it
helps.
easier.
Oh, it helps heaps.
I think if they understood some of it... Because there's a lot of things like tests that can end up, especially in London at a younger age, like you're going to photographers' houses, like it's a scary world.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just adamant. And I think because I was still in school and I did it at uni and they knew I wasn't leaving to do it full time.
Okay.
It was a part-time thing.
So it was fine.
So yeah, they were supportive and my mum
Okay.
took me. So I started then. Really, uni was when I did it a lot more.
Yeah.
On and off. And I was missing bits of uni for it.
Yeah.
Wasn't good. But it meant that I could travel into London. And I never, if I had ended up going to Cambridge, I wouldn't have been doing any of this.
Yeah.
So I ended up going into London, which is when I signed with London, and it's when I signed acting as well.
Okay.
There. And I was like, oh, maybe I don't have to do drama school.
Okay.
I personally wanted to, but then COVID hit. So that was then traveling over to here.
So 2020, you went LA or Sydney?
Yes. So I was doing the rounds. So it's kind of like the modelling agencies send you, I don't know who yours was at the time. Did you start in Paris?
Mademoiselle.
Yeah.
That was my mother agency.
So they send you from city to city, and it's kind of like you do the rounds, which is great because it means that you get to see different countries and find different parts of yourself in different countries.
Yeah.
Which is why I loved modelling so much at the time. And I was in Istanbul. And I had the option of LA or here. And I remember everybody being like, don't go to Australia, it's on fire. It was on fire.
Yes, because we arrived at the same time.
Everybody was like, girl, you're gonna burn. Don't go.
My ex-mother-in-law sat us down and went, do not go to Australia.
Yeah. Everybody was so scared. I remember I was in Istanbul. I was in a little modelling van. Did you ever have to do the modelling vans?
No.
Oh, it's like you...
If I call my Colombian mom and I tell her I'm in a modeling van...
I think I watched that video on the internet, but anyway.
Yeah, there's lots. Yeah, so you're all in a model house. And then the van arrives in the morning. And in Istanbul, they are on it. They get you to like 42
that's when they get you to stand up all in a row in Istanbul.
And you stand up in a row.
Yeah.
And there's like a panel there. And they think you can't understand them. However, there will always be one lady. I like to say lady. I'm so over people calling models girls. They're women. One lady who would understand what everybody is saying. So then you'd go home and she would like debrief you
Yeah,
On
so
everything
these
that they
on your
said.
thighs, these
Your
on your
nose
legs.
was too small.
Your knees were weird as
Girl, what is
fuck.
happening with your chin? Oh yeah, it was everything.
Same in
Too
Paris.
fat, too thin.
Same in Paris, but because most models are like Russian and stuff, but I spoke French.
Oh.
But
Did you
I would-
ever, when you walk out, did
I
you
would
ever
on
just
the
drop
brief.
a little line to the panel?
I wouldn't debrief. I think I was too shy. I was not shy. I was not in a modeling house. It was so different for me because I was fully removed from that world, and I would just
Okay.
approach it for modeling because I was already established there before I ever modeled.
Okay.
And modeling came.
Got it.
It was never a conscious decision. So then when it happened, I think I was trying to stay as far as I could
Yeah.
socially from it because I didn't feel strong enough. Like I just felt like I needed to go back to my friends that had nothing to do with it. So I think
Were you judging it? Like the profession, do you think?
so
Or-
much. I only so much, but it was because that's why I asked you about your parents.
Yeah.
It's because in Colombia there was at the point, I think there's a massive stigma about it.
Oh, there's a huge judgment.
There's a huge judgment overall, but I think because of the way it was structured in Colombia and how dangerous it was,
Yeah.
and who has the money and who runs things,
Yeah.
there's this stigma that girls would have to agree to a lot of things, and that everyone who was getting stuff was going through a lot of terrible things to get them.
Okay.
So then I had this thought. I really had this thought that my uncle, my connection to my paternal figure, who was
Yeah.
my uncle, was always through like intellect and math and stuff, and his view on it was kind of like there was always this approach of like, if you do that, it's because you cannot do anything else and you have to be dumb.
Okay.
And then people approached my mom in Colombia a few times when I was younger, and my mom was like, never in my whole freaking life, but never in Colombia. She always made it clear.
Right.
She was like, you do you, because she knew
Yeah.
about the industry. She was like, there's no way ever. 16, 17, and I was not wanting it either. So, but she was made it clear. She was like, there's no way until you are 18 and you say your own things. But I didn't want to because I thought my uncle would like stop talking to me.
I wonder if my parents were the same, but they just thought I'd be really bad.
I don't think so. Just go and try.
She's not
They're
gonna
like,
make it anyway.
off
It's
she
not a
goes
problem.
again.
Off she goes.
Off she goes. I think I applied to Greg's the same week as well, actually. You guys don't have Greg's here.
No.
Do you have Greg's here?
No.
What is that?
It's like a sausage roll shop. I mean, it's... I mean, it's not
Just going
it's
into
not
the-
just sausage rolls. I was like, okay, I need to earn money.
Greg's is so much more than
So much
sausage
more than
rolls.
sausage- I'm
Yeah.
so
Is that
sorry,
the
Greg's.
tagline?
Greg's so much more than sausage rolls. Yeah, and you could get
They
ketchup.
also do pies.
They do loads of things. They do pies, you do little cakes, and if you can have with or without. So when you order a sausage roll, if you want it with ketchup,
Wow, yeah.
they like slice it down the side, fill it with ketchup, close back up, give it to you.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, it is.
That's so good.
It's prime. It's
Because
very
it's not
prime.
just on the top and then it falls off.
No, it's in
Yeah.
it. It's distributed
No, that's
right.
great.
It is.
No,
Yeah.
distribution.
But yeah, so I got accepted for modeling, but rejected from Greg's.
And this is why, unless you sponsor this video, we're not getting. I'm just gonna send them a cut of this and a
Yeah.
cut with a wow.
I don't know. I still to this day don't know why.
But it's good. I've like.
I think must have just come across really up myself in the.
I
in the
think
interview.
you're overqualified. I'm sorry.
I'm not even kidding. I wanted to say it, but I didn't want to sound really like.
Yeah, no,
they
but
said I
you're
was
overqualified. Yeah, for sure, and it's overwhelming for the rest of the people. You're overwhelming all the time for the rest of the
They were
people.
like, we don't hire head girls at Greg.
It's a rule.
Yeah,
It's a rule.
It's a rule.
But I was gonna leave my badge at home. Like I wouldn't have worn it.
Oh my god. But I think that's the thing with modeling that is so interesting because I think now that I know about it,
Yeah. Oh, there's a huge stigma.
and it's a huge stigma, but I still hate it for
You
a
have to
long
ask for
time.
permission almost to go into anything else after doing it because it's like.
Yeah, and in Paris it was a massive thing because I always knew acting,
Okay.
and then also everyone like the stigma was as well. No one will
Transfer.
like book. No one wants. No
Yeah.
director wants to work with more.
Yeah.
There were so many stigmas from that generation, and I think then the thing is that when it comes to castings and stuff in Paris, I felt lucky enough that I was old because I started old. Like I started at 21.
Yeah.
When I got signed was like
So much better getting.
that's
at an
old
older
in
age.
Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was doing castings with 14, 15-year-old Russian girls.
Yeah, my whole model house was Russian.
Yeah. And I'm like, if I look back at my 14, 15-year-old self,
Yeah.
standing in a room in underwear the way I was and getting slammed, just like, there's something in French, right? But what's up with her tie? Because that's not even fat. Is there a... Yeah, no, her legs are weird. And then, like...
I can't believe you could hear them. See, it was
everything,
great.
because
it was great
you
for
know
me.
how French are.
They're great for me. I just always presumed they were complimenting.
And that's... You're like, oh my God, stop and don't say it in
Stop.
front of the other girls that
When
I'm
I
your
leave
favorite.
out, just give a cheeky little wink after they've been like...
Yeah. No, but that's the thing. I think it's important also to... I had so much admiration for these girls because I was already... At that age, at 14, 15, that you get a pimple and you're complex forever. You don't want to go to school. You're like, oh my God, I'm not gonna... I don't like the stamina and also the fact that these girls were there in model apartments, sending money back home, getting weighed. Like they would come in and weigh them every Monday.
Yeah.
And that for me, when at 21 I was having to go back, I already had like my group and stuff, and but I was going back home to get rehabilitated from what I just went through in a casting.
I wonder if I was replicating boarding school maybe with that.
That's what I'm telling you. You
Yeah.
have a crazy like...
I think rejection shaped me
Yeah.
in a lot of ways. I think, and I'm oddly grateful for it.
It's not odd. I think it's one of the biggest things that you need.
It's helped with the industry now.
With this
I
now.
mean, now, like...
You need a relationship to rejection for
completely.
sure.
I think I've kind of been that person that's run at something, run into a brick wall, and then gone, okay, sideways, off we go again. And I think those brick walls have been like forced movement sideways, whereas I think I could have just stayed very tunnel vision in one direction. So rejection
That's beautiful.
is really shaped.
I love how you say
Yeah.
the offside, because I think I love that you use the term off script. Like that's the first time that the universe had to send me like off script.
Yeah, completely.
And sometimes it's a wall, but if you don't try, you don't get the wall. So
No.
you don't even get off script. You need to be trying something.
No. I would have gone down that, honestly.
Yeah, you need
if
to
that-
be trying.
I just would have done the plan. Probably would have ended up, I was like, oh, I'll do classics, and then barrister has elements of acting in it. That would be me right now. at
Yeah.
home, which is crazy. Crazy.
White wig.
And I wouldn't have
White
met
wig.
you.
That would have been a disaster.
Okay, so was this the first... Would you consider what you were doing within Europe immigration, or just because the fact that it was set up by someone else? When did you feel or understood the term
Yeah.
immigrant and that you were one?
So, it's a really good question. Traveling around Europe for work was travel. Because you're moving to a city, it's temporary.
Yeah.
You know they're setting it up for you.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of that blessing in disguise, where although I get that modeling it can be stressful, I think the whole... It's like the Anthony Bourdain quote. What is it? Wes, do you know it? It's travel isn't a reward for work. It's education for life.
Yeah.
So I think...
I love that. Can we
yeah.
repeat that? Travel
isn't your reward for work. It's education for life. So I don't have that stigma or view around modeling or having to ask for permission to move into other areas like acting, because for me that was such a privilege and a gift to like be able to travel around the world.
And it is.
Yeah, it's huge. And I think me coming out here originally was part of that. It's just then COVID hit, and then I realized, oh, I am actually emigrating from the UK, and I'm now immigrating into Australia.
So COVID hit.
Yeah.
I know this story, but just abroad. You were here and you were in Bali.
Yes. So I was here in Australia. COVID hit. No, that's not true. I was here and there were rumors. There were rumors about
When
it.
no
and
one
then
believed
my
it.
agency sent me to Bali for a job.
It was just one job. It was not a
Just
stint
one
in
job.
Bali.
It was just one job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I went over to Bali for a job, and COVID hit when I was in Bali. And that was heartbreaking. That was really, really heartbreaking in Bali, because the locals were so desperate for people to stay that they were coming out, they were offering free food, free hotels, they just needed, because they could see everybody was leaving, and no one knew how long this was going to. It was.
And they leave
awful.
off tourism, right?
It was awful. Yeah, families were begging people to stay. And then when I got to the airport, all of the flights were just being crossed off. Like, people were crying. Everybody was just trying to rush on any plane they could. And I was stuck in a weird situation of, do I try and get back to the UK from Bali and could get stuck somewhere halfway, when, from what I knew, it was just the world was about to go into blackout?
Yeah.
Or...
Dates for this?
When did it first hit?
Was it February 2020?
March.
20, yeah.
March.
Okay.
So I had been on a date with my then partner, the photographer, who basically had said, look, your stuff is still in Bondi. If you want, you can come back here and stay with me until this kind of blows over. So I remember being like, okay.
How long had you been in Sydney before?
A month.
So how was your relationship with Australia then? Still like bubbly?
Bubbly. It was definitely, you know, that point where you're just trying to learn a new culture and figure out the differences and similarities. Obviously, it was a much easier move than, like, me in Istanbul was really like a culture
different world
shift. Here, obviously, same language, which is huge, although it took me a while to understand the accent.
Yeah.
And obviously, I just
and now she does the accent perfectly, so there you go.
We do.
Yeah.
I would demonstrate after another drink.
Okay.
But I think I presumed it would be Chris Hemsworth's running around everywhere. Because obviously, even though Britain has a huge part to play in some very dark history of the country, we're not taught it at school, awfully.
Yeah.
So I really knew nothing. I was so naive.
Same. I knew
So
nothing
naive.
about Australia the
Nothing.
moment I landed.
Which is awful, as British people.
Yeah. I guess
Nothing
more
about-
shame to you as British. No, but in general.
Oh, no, I carry...
This is island. Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, it's awful, but you're not taught. Yeah.
Yeah, but the country likes to go, oh, yes, celebrate the royal family, but
Yeah.
teach nothing of what we did.
Yeah.
So I learnt that very quickly because of things like, I remember researching Australia Day for the first time and things like that and being
Yeah.
like, oh.
You know why I did? Because it was right after my birthday's on the 27th of January.
Oh.
So everyone
Because, yeah,
likes
that was my first
celebrating.
introduction to it. And that was my first, let's actually learn
Yeah.
the history of what my people did. And then you go, so that kind of all hit. And that, it was a lot all at once. It was trying to figure out modeling. They preferred a much healthier body here,
Yeah.
which was great. Because I remember them being
Yeah.
like, can you put on weight? And I was like, yes.
And you
I
actually
do
can
that.
train. You
I
actually
do-
can train.
You can have this thing called muscle.
Yeah. I was
Fantastic.
forbidden to post gym things.
I got
in
my
Paris.
gym was reduced in Europe. Yeah.
Yeah, you can only run. Like, don't post it. Yeah.
They don't control. It's free. It was healthy. Everybody had a different lifestyle of waking up early in the morning because you actually want to, because it's sunny and there's nice
Yeah.
weather. Yeah, I always say it's like in London when it gets above like 17 degrees and everybody whips their shirts off and has a barbecue outside. It's
Yeah.
like that here, but every day. So everybody was just nicer. And I thought that there would be Chris Hemsworths running around everywhere. That bit wasn't quite. Wasn't
Yeah.
I hate to break it
Still
to...
waiting for them.
Do you have a global audience? Don't expect everybody to be
I
Chris
do a
Hemsworth.
lot in French, yeah. France has that idea of Australia.
Yeah.
It is, I do have to say, and I was speaking about it with a friend recently. We are This is gonna sound terrible, but I'm just gonna say it. We are used to a level of fitness here,
Oh.
and you do get a bit slapped when
But
you're
also
in the
we
rest of
moved
the world.
into
You're like, what do you mean
Bondi.
you don't have muscles? Yeah.
But Bondi was Australia for us. Like our whole view of Australia was Bondi.
So it's not crazy, but there is a different level of fitness and care about the body and about nutrition.
Because you're naked all the time.
Yeah, and then you go to places in the world and they're like, what do you mean whey protein? Isn't that like
You
steroids?
don't
And
need
you're
shoes. I loved it. I hate shoes.
I was-
hate socks. I hate shoes.
Yeah.
I hate tights. The feet are free.
So it just felt like you could.
I've mentioned feet.
Yeah.
3 times in this podcast.
So we're speaking about fetish next, but we're not. Like so did you, when you took that decision, it was just an instinctive thing, or I'm gonna try this longer, rather than I already
As in
have fallen
coming-
in love with Australia,
Oh, as in staying
as in
here?
Bali to Sydney rather than Bali to UK.
I think there were several things. I'd met an amazing human. I wanted to explore that further. I was scared, if I'm being completely honest, that I was going to get stuck halfway as well. And also, I think I had the privilege of emigrating without fear that my home was unsafe.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like
I know, because
of course you would get what I mean.
I get what you mean because I don't have that.
Exactly. And I think you and I have always spoken about emigration and immigration, and it's been a really heavy topic for us that I know we'll probably get into. But I always like to speak about it in the context that I recognize that I had the privilege of a British passport, and I had the privilege of, I didn't leave out of necessity. It was more out of curiosity and adventure. And I suppose I naively didn't think it was going to be emigration. But
Yeah.
so I then ended up in Australia, and it was the last flight back in before hotel quarantine.
Yeah.
So lucky. So lucky.
Yeah.
And then I landed, and it was that whole idea of you couldn't then find other rentals. So I did then move in with him because
Yeah.
you couldn't then live elsewhere. So really I started a relationship after one date and then moved in, which was basically...
Gotta do it for the plot.
I know. I'm surprised they didn't do any reality TV show
Yeah.
about relationships in COVID.
In COVID. Oh my fucking God, yeah.
Because we didn't know each other. So we
Yeah.
got to know each other during lockdown, which was crazy because you learn, I mean, living with
You learn
someone,
everything so fast.
You learn everything.
I always speak about this. I wonder how you feel about it now, in the sense of like I always tell people that are like thinking about moving in, like I do understand. I did wait a bit, but I do understand the reluctance, but I also think you get a lot of information out of the way.
Oh,
Faster.
You know if this is going to be long or short term.
That's what I mean.
The only
It's a
thing
bit
I
like
would
a band-aid. Maybe not one date. I'm not promoting right now one date.
That was extreme. You
Yeah,
missed the
check
dating.
criminal records.
I did check
That's
his
all I'm
passport.
saying. You did?
I did
You
check his
did.
passport. The first thing I did.
We did, girl. Yeah, we do. We do that.
Find his passport. Because
And
I
the
swear
name
that he said he
matched.
was a year younger than he was, but
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's all good.
he wasn't. He wasn't.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think you skipped the dating period with that, which is really interesting. Also, it's not just living together. You have to remember no one could work. So you're not leaving the house. So you're dating, figuring out what this is. I think, bless him, can you swear on this podcast?
Can I what? You can say anything you want. Yes.
Okay. I think he just wanted a COVID fuck buddy, bless him.
Yeah.
And I just never left.
Yeah. You're just like you have a fuck buddy now.
I was like, oh, I think we all thought that it was going to be a short period of time.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, I'm going to nestle in with something fun for that time. Why not? But that time expanded and you still couldn't move. And I was too young for the repatriation flights the first time round. Yeah, it was like 25 and up.
Okay.
So I wasn't like due the repatriation.
I cannot believe when I think about that age, because we got here at the same age. So we were like 22. We met at 22?
Dude.
That blows my fucking mind. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were two.
I was 22. I was living with someone who I'd been on a date with. I knew was safe. And and he probably just wanted a COVID fling.
Yeah.
And I never left. And persuaded.
When did it land that you were an immigrant here now?
It was when all the visa problems started to happen. That was my first wake up into empathy surrounding immigrants.
Because I was so surprised when we met, we had this talk. It was one of our first talks.
We were already struggling.
Yeah.
So
You were worried because of the circumstance around it.
Yes.
You hadn't really yet struggled.
Yeah.
But it was interesting because I felt an empathy that is not that common within your circumstances, because not that I'm saying that people are not empathetic, I'm just saying that you don't know until you know.
Yeah.
And I think you're so aware, and you're so it's so important what you just mentioned, that you actually understand that the circumstances in which you emigrate are very different.
Yeah.
Because your relationship to the new country as well, and your energy towards it, it's so different.
I mean, I always think expats. I've had an interesting thing that I wonder if expats are always running from something, a little bit. That I've probably never properly delved into, but I've always just presumed it's curiosity and adventure. But I think there is an element of also, there's also like this beauty of starting somewhere new. But I think sometimes there's also things that sometimes you haven't solved, and there's also that thing that we've always been discussing about us going back home and the association with home, and even what is the definition
Of home.
now.
Because you redefine it after.
Completely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, when you're younger and someone says, what's home? You usually go, the place you were born. Then it ends up being, as you start to expand, like your county. And then everybody's like, oh, well, if you go to uni, or some people work somewhere in a different part of the country, you kind of end up going, oh, I'm from the north of here. And then you move. And then I'm like, well, Australia now feels like
home.
But home's also home. So I think we redefine home until I think we start to realize that home is the people who you're around, and also it's in you when you're at peace.
I would argue
yourself.
it's in you, because within the people I felt that, and I attach a home to people as well.
Yeah.
But then I feel like that's something that will get stripped up the moment.
Well, something that we said the other day when we were like rooted. We were talking about, where are you grounded? Where are you rooted? And we were saying, actually, I think we've rooted in ourselves now.
Yeah.
And so when we had a fear of travel, for context, we had a conversation the other day about travel and moving apart from where we currently see as home, and if we were to now emigrate elsewhere. Have you already discussed this on the podcast?
Not yet, but I'm
Okay.
happy to.
Okay.
But I'm happy to, and I think it's an interesting thing that you're mentioning the relationship to home, because I think going back home, one of my priorities is to change that relationship, because I do feel like you move differently in the world.
Yeah.
When you're not with that fear, you know? But I think, in respect to like what we were discussing, and it kind of goes like, there's a moment, I think, in life where you realize you are attaching to everything, and you're like, what is the constant?
Yeah. It's yourself.
Because you are creating beautiful things in everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
But like the constant is it the place is hot? Because a lot of people are like, my happiness is because of the warmth, it's because of this, it's because of... And I do...
What about the you that place brings out?
I actually think that's the part that with Australia is one of the hardest things to not get attached to, is because
It's brought out such a
for me-
beautiful version of yourself.
yeah, and for me the way Australians relate to each other
Yeah.
is so unique. Maybe also Canada, but there's a way of a lack of individualism in the way people move. People are really caring about what other people are doing. It's a very like non-hostile way of moving through the world.
That's interesting.
Against, like, in comparison to the only places I felt this way is Canada and Australia,
Okay.
where it's like it's countries that have taught me to not expect the worst out of people. You know,
Yeah.
I've met some of my best friends in coffees talking to random people. I didn't grow up with the mindset that you can meet people like strangers in a. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
suicide. What do you mean I'm speaking
Yeah.
to strangers in a? Because you grew up, don't speak to strangers, don't speak to strangers.
Yeah.
So I think it's that part of feeling home was really interesting, because I loved my life in Paris, like, and what it taught me, but not in a way that I'm attached like that. Which
Yeah.
was the first time I left Australia on holidays. That's the first time in my whole entire life I felt homesick.
Oh, the homesickness is bad. It's
Homesickness
really
is
bad.
I only felt it with Australia. I never felt it with anywhere
Well,
else.
the time difference here isn't great. Well, for me anyway, from here to the UK,
It's the opposite.
one of
It's
you's
the
always
opposite.
waking up and one of you's going to bed. So you're always in.
We're gonna be
opposite.
good with LA. LA is great.
LA is going to be.
LA is great, and Latin America is not as great, but it's closer
One of us
because
will
you
just
have
to
the
do
morning.
6:30
I
wake
know,
up. It's
and
okay.
we will.
We'll alternate it.
But it is crazy, because I think it's.
But it's
I
just
love
more
that you say
films.
what it brings in you.
It's just
I
more
know.
films. We've realized that once you attach home to yourself, that no matter where you are in the world, it doesn't make a difference with your connection to people or the distance. Like we were saying, it's so silly that the other day we were saying goodbye because I was getting on a flight to Melbourne compared to the flight to somewhere
And I
like
was so
Colombia.
excited for her to like experience different parts of Australia
Yeah.
and what she was gonna leave. At the end of the day,
Yes.
it's all about perspective, because I'm excited. I'm about to leave for MIF in 2 days. Mm-hmm. You're not crying over me flying to MIF.
No. Well.
It's gonna be so funny. We're gonna be.
It's-
But you know, I'm going to Melbourne. You go to Melbourne, and that's exciting because the other one's living in adventures. So because we don't feel that
No.
far, but we're communicating the same. Like, it's literally just.
It's exactly the same. We're letting you go. You're going to live adventures. It's a longer flight.
And we're gonna leave them together because we are living them together.
More movies.
It's just more
It's
films
just more movies.
within the flight. It's like, what films are you gonna watch in the flight? And I think it's important because the more you travel and the more you immigrate and emigrate, which you guys know I don't shut up about, because I think it's one of the best experiences for any human being. The more connections and the more love of your lives that you need to learn to detach from. It comes with that.